All right, so let's solve this using variation of parameters. That was a thing for today, right? Variation of parameters. Yeah. And I don't know, for better or worse, it like comes down to kind of a formula, right? But we derived the formula. And so that involves like first scaling this differential equation so that there's a coefficient of 1 in front of the y double prime, right? That was like kind of a setup. So we can do that by dividing everything by x squared. So that's going to give us something like that, right? And then we know that the particular solution, oh, and I guess I should say we are given that these are solutions to the associated homogeneous equation, right? And so you'll have like two flavors of these types of variation of parameters problems, and those will be the ones where you have the technology to find the homogeneous solutions, like all the ones that we did the past several days, right? By looking at polynomials and doing roots, so you can do that. And then there'll be ones where we have to give them to you. And actually, this will be one where we're able to get the homogeneous solution a little bit later. That's like an Euler equation, but we don't quite know how to do it just yet. Yeah. And so anyway, given that these are solutions to that homogeneous equation, we know that the particular solution should be of this form. So it's some function times y1, where that's the y1, one of your homogeneous solutions, and then another function times y2. And then there was this big derivation process that ended at the following formula. So u1 was equal to negative the integral of, and I'm just going to write this down in all of its glory, f of x times y2 over the Wronskian of y1 and y2 dx, right? So does that look semi-familiar? And f, I should say, is this function over here on the right-hand side, right?
What happened to your multiplication of the polynomial, or the function p of p0 of x?
Oh, yeah, I just normalized it. That's a good point, yeah.
So you get to put it in there?
Yeah, so it's just 1 here because I just divided out.
Got it.
Yeah. That's you can do that, or you can put that in the form. It's kind of the same. Okay, and then u2 is equal to, it's something pretty similar, except it doesn't have a minus sign. So I don't know what to tell you, like, you just kind of have to remember that one of them has, you can rederive it each time and see why one of them has a minus sign and one of them doesn't, but otherwise it's kind of a pain.
I kind of went over the video how it ended up being like that.
Yeah, because but you have to like look at the derivation carefully to see where that comes from. After the fact, it's sort of been lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the Wronskian?
It's a determinant of y1, y2, y1 prime.
Yeah, kind of depending on how you read it, row-wise or column-wise, right? So that's going to be the determinant of, let's see, we have 1x here and a 1 here, and then a 1 over x here and a minus 1 over x squared here. Does that look right? So in the end, that's going to be minus 2 over x squared, right? Nope, that's wrong. It's going to be minus 2 over x, right? Good. So now let's calculate these two functions. So u1 is going to be minus, and then let's just be really careful. So our function f is 2 plus 2 over x squared times our function y2, which is 1 over x, all over our Wronskian, which is negative 2 over x. Right? Does that look right? Yes, no, maybe so? Yeah. So let's see, does that simplify? So this minus sign and this minus sign will cancel, right? And then this x will cancel with this x, right? And then we've got 2 in the denominator, which we can bring out. So we've got a half, and then we'll have 2 plus 2 over x squared. Oh, but check it out. That simplifies to 1 plus 1 over x squared. So can we get u1 out of that? So that's going to be x plus, it's actually minus 1 over x. Does that seem right? Yes. Good. So there's our u1. Now let's calculate our u2, just so that we have an idea where all the parts come from. So let's see, u2 is going to be the integral of, so again we'll have 2 plus 2 over x squared, but now it's going to be multiplied by y1, and then still over that Wronskian minus 2 over x. So what's going to change here? So let's see, we're going to get a minus sign out front. That's one thing that'll happen, right? And then what else happens?
Would the x distribute into the 2 plus 2 over x squared?
Yeah, but like, let's be careful and let's flip this up to an x squared here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can do that, right? Yeah. So then we'll have 2x squared plus 2. Does that look right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then let's see. That's going to give us minus x squared plus 1 dx. So let's see. That's going to be minus, and then what? 1/3 x cubed minus x. Right? And then we have our yp will be, we know it's of this form, u1 y1, u2 y2. So let's see, u1 y1, that's going to be x squared minus 1, right? Because if we multiply that by x. And then u2 y2, so y2 is 1 over x, right? So that's going to be minus 1/3 x squared minus 1.
Where did we get the minus ones from?
Kind of two different places.
Isn't it supposed to be x cubed? Oh, can you like, did you simplify that? The 1/3 x cubed minus x?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
See?
what I was confused with.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I was just like, what?
Yeah, let's be careful. Notice that a product has happened for each of these. This is u1 y1, and this is u2 y2. So a product has happened for each one, and that's how they got changed a little bit.
Okay.
Can we write that out?
Yeah. Let's do that. So this is going to be, so let's do it. So it's y1, so it's x times u1, which is x minus 1 over x. And then plus 1 over x times minus 1/3 x cubed minus x. So there it is. I wrote it in the other order. I wrote it as y2 times u2 and so on and so forth. I put the y's in front, but that's what we have. Does that seem right? And now we can combine terms here. Let's see, that's going to give us 2/3 x squared minus 2, right? Yeah. And so if we were to go ahead and write the final answer, we would have y equals, so it's going to be a linear combination of the y1 and y2, so that's going to be c1x plus c2 over x, and then this part, so plus 2/3 x squared minus 2. So we've got something like that.